Hello everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic. This is going to be a demonstration video showing you the tools that we use as broadcasters. I've got a healing system, a self-impaired healing system called the broadcasting system that teaches you to identify through a dowsing technique, whether it's through pendulum dowsing, whether that's through dowsing rods, whether that's through muscle kinesiology. And if you're a beginner to that, you get an instruction manual and my guidance to help you through becoming more intuitive with those. If you're somebody that already uses a pendulum, dowsing divinity rods, or if you are using muscle kinesiology, you can just jump straight into the system. The broadcasting system, you can find out what sustenance you require, whether that's a mineral, an element from the periodic table of the elements, whether that's hormone for your own hormone replacement therapy, a vitamin, an ascension oil, a crystal energy, whether that is a superfood or a medicinal herb, whether that is a supplement, whether that's a digestive enzyme, and so on. And you then utilize your manifestation ability through attention, intention, to then provide that and broadcast that into a glass of water, into a glass of juice, a beer, your coffee, a plate of food, or direct it to a specific area of the body. So what you're doing there is bypassing the digestive system and sending exactly what that area, for example, your liver needs, and you can direct it straight there. And part of the system also teaches you to pick up the cues that the body presents to yourself to stop the clearing, right? Or broadcasting that particular herb or sustenance to that area. So therefore you get the cleansing, the detoxification, the healing that you require without going into a healing crisis where all of a sudden you're out of commission for a day or for a week, okay? So in this video, I'm just going to demonstrate. I've got a little rose quartz crystal here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to place that right in front of me. And then I'm going to use dowsing rods to find out how big the field is of it just on its own accord. Then we're going to measure what the field is like with the broadcasting tools I have in front of me, which I will showcase very soon. So let's find out how big the field is in regards to just by itself the rose quartz. So here we go. Now, rose quartz, are we currently in the field of the rose quartz? And I'm getting a yes, so you can see those are going out, and when it goes out, that means yes. When it goes in, it means no, right? So here we go. Am I still within the field of the rose quartz? Am I still within the field of the rose quartz? Am I still within the field of the rose quartz? Am I still in the field of the rose quartz? Yes or no, please? Okay, so we've got to there, right? So that is, okay. So that's roughly about 8 feet, 8 to 10 feet. Not bad, right? It's only a small rose quartz. Of course, if that rose quartz is a bit bigger, it does have a bit of a bigger field too as well. But the cool thing about these broadcasting tools is it's not only, yes, we're broadcasting the energy of that rose quartz, and we could easily do that just with an intention though. Don't need the quartz itself, rose quartz itself. This is the cool thing. You don't, if you haven't the physical sustenance, right, the rose quartz itself, the medicinal herb that you're looking for, or a superfood in your pantry, or the supplement in your pantry, you can create it, right? Because what these tools do is they connect to the unique energy signature of that sustenance, which simply means it's soul consciousness, right? So that's its medicine. This is why I always say to my clients, getting into the heart, facilitating more of their soul, because that's their medicine. That's more of who you are, which makes you feel more at peace, more joy, more happiness, and all these sorts of things, which should be seen as nutrients. We've got very much dictated by numbers, and that's just a compartmentalized mind thing, when really our experience is based on simply how we feel, right? If someone's not doing too well and they go to a doctor, they don't go because they don't think well, they go because they don't feel well, right? So our experience is all based on feel. And when we're guided by feel, guided by the heart, it's not interested in compartmentalization or giving things labels or identities or numbers. It's nothing to do with it. So what we're going to do, the first broadcasting system we're going to use is the sun ring. This is a crystally incorporated product that comes from Canada. I'm a distributor of this product, and we're going to use the sun ring. Now, the interesting thing about the sun is symbolic for soul, right? The Latin word for sun is soul, right? So I always say to my clients, the human perspective is the greatest light energy source outside of ourselves is the sun, right? And the mind externalizes our viewpoint of reality, meaning, what's outside of us. But when we internalize that, we realize, okay, what's our greatest light source, energy source from an internalized perspective? And that's our soul, our light. So there's a direct connection between these. Okay, so when we utilize this then in regards to placing the rose quartz within it, it's connecting more into its light, right? More into its energy signature. So that should then broadcast and facilitate more of itself, and that will be represented in a more expansive field. So here we go. Right, so put the rose quartz within the sun ring. Let's test it out now. Okay, am I within the field of the rose quartz, please? Am I within the field of the rose quartz? Am I within the field of the rose quartz, please? Am I still within the field of the rose quartz, yes or no? Okay, so it's roughly about where we were before, so we'll keep going. Are we still within the field of the rose quartz? Am I still within the field of the rose quartz, please? Am I still within the field of the rose quartz? Am I still within the field of the rose quartz, please? Am I still within the field of the rose quartz, please? Am I still within the field of the rose quartz? So am I still within the field? Okay, so that's about that. Okay. Right, so we roughly doubled that with the sun ring. So, it's facilitating more of the light, therefore you're getting more out of that rose quartz, right? So when you put that rose quartz in the sun ring, like you're a practitioner or just at home, you're able to get more of that effect. It'll be more powerful, but also it can broadcast into more of the house or more into the area that you're wanting to apply that energy to. So let's go to the next one. Right. Now, when we're talking also about facilitating more of itself, its energy, its soul consciousness, this is also activating its DNA, because really DNA is more frequencies. It's more, when we say more gene expression, it's more energetic expression, because genetic means energetic, really. So, when you're putting a cookie or any food within that broadcaster, it's also bringing through more of its medicine, right? Okay, so next one we're going to use, this one's called the generation calibrator. So this is a tool that I make. This is tensor technology, and we create it in 3 rings because it creates a sunshine effect, and we use a cubit measurement, which is what facilitates a certain energetic that you only find it truly holistic. We call it the infinite cubit. And why we use this particular cubit, because it's got infinite broadcasting reach or ability. So what you'll notice here is that the field, why we still have this as an option, but we've kind of moved on to things that broadcast deeper, right? Because if we're able to broadcast this product and activate this product to an infinite measure, it means we're going deeper, we're facilitating more of its energy signature. And everything that we do at Truly Holistic, while we move on to different ways of doing things, is because we're always trying to evolve. This is what ascension is to evolve it yourself. And if you then all of a sudden for food or drink and like, you want to use these products because you want those things to align with where you're going and evolving as well. So we're going to do that now, okay? We're going to place that within here, okay? So here we go. Right. So when we use the sun ring, that would have been 20, 25 feet. Let's see how we go with the generation calibrator. And this is the smaller version. We also make a medium-sized version and a large version of this particular tool. So here we go. Are we within the field of the rose quartz, please? Are we within the field of the rose quartz, yes or no? Are we within the field of the rose quartz, yes or no? Are we within the field of the rose quartz, please? Are we within the field of the rose quartz, please? Are we within the field of the rose quartz. So we're getting to where we were kind of, now we're passing where the sun ring could go. So let's keep going. Are we still within the field of the rose quartz? Yes or no? Are we within the field of the rose quartz, please? Are we within the field of the rose quartz, please? Are we within the field of the rose quartz, please? Are we within the field of the rose quartz? Yes or no? Are we within the field of the rose quartz? Are we within the field of the rose quartz, please? Are we within the field of the rose quartz, please? Are we within the field of the rose quartz, please? So I went back as far as I could, and it was still saying we were within the field of the rose quartz, and that's probably a good 60 feet, 50, 60 feet. I will do this demonstration again in a field that we're allowed to go even further back. But, you know, again, it just showcases, you know, that is an upgrade on that, right? And, you know, especially if you're someone that wants to have an imprint or positive effect on your community, on the human collective, then, you know, you want to be able to have a product that can have that measure, right, that expansion. And of course, that's why we head towards this. Now, the other one we're going to do is also using this also uses the same energetic. This also uses the same energetic as this one. The difference is you'll see it's got made with a single twist, right? This one's made with a double twist, and why we use the double twist is we're found with a double twist, the tensor ring. This is also the infinite cubit, by the way. It creates a column effect, right? So if I put it like that, it's creating a column of light that way and a column of light that way. But with a double twist, it seems to spit the energy out horizontally, so it has that broadcasting ability in the likes of how this demonstrates, you know, with the rays of the sun or the light coming out. So this is the other broadcasting tool that we often associate with the broadcasting system, these two that I make, and because this is got a broadcasting ability, it's the infinite cubit, it will have the measure of this one. So there's no really point us using the dowsing rods to measure that field, because that will be just as expansive. We're also using this cubit measurement and also the double twist with a new tool called the Grid Network Pyramid tool, which is working on changing weather patterns, harmonizing, neutralizing chemtrails, harmonizing weather and all sorts of things. It's again, because of its infinite reach, infinite measure. And again, you will not find this cubit measurement in anyone else that creates tensor products or tensor rings. This is a cubit measure that was facilitated through my dowsing, and you only get it truly holistic. So there you go, a representation of the three broadcasting tools that we associate with the self-empowered broadcasting system, which is currently on sale at the moment. It's on discount at the moment by itself, but we also have a special discount for all three of my self-empowered healing systems. We've got the broadcasting system I've talked about today. We've also got the intuitively aligned system that works on realigning necks and backs, vertebrae, discs, working on joint pain, releasing nerves that are pinched, you know, all energetically done. No physical manipulation whatsoever, and I've got clients all around the world, testimonials that showcase that. Also, the quantum ascendance healing system, which is even more expansive than those two, where we get into principles about how reality is formed to begin with, your role in forging it. All three of those in the PDF format are currently on special as a bundle, where you get, it's like 810 New Zealand dollars less its original price. You know, we've never discounted it this much. Why we're doing that is because I'm about to release an online community. We're going to call it Highest Potentials Community, or High Potentials. And for everybody that's got a product or self-empowered healing system bought from Truly Holistic, you immediately become a member of that community. And for every 2 weeks, we're going to go online and we're going to discuss how we can use these products to benefit our life, benefit the people of life of others into forming and enabling higher potentials for ourselves, but also for our clients, for our loved ones, for our family, using these products. And if you know, at any particular time are just having a little bit of difficulty within the healing system or how to use these products, I will be there to support you and show you the way of how to use it, how to get the most out of the healing system or the product itself. So exciting times coming forth for Truly Holistic. I hope you really enjoyed this video and demonstration. There'll be more coming. See you later.